In the future I must thoroughly study this Lifeblood River, Luo Fong thought. This could also enhance my understanding of the primal chaos laws. Comprehending the primal chaos laws was difficult. Thus, multiple pathways were needed concurrently, such as Luo Fong residing beside the primal chaos ruins, observing and comprehending from close proximity, which was one route. Cultivating some secret techniques that directly target the primal chaos realm, such as Worldbreaking Nine Blades, Primal Chaos Great Strength Diagram, Duan and Dong Hua, and others. The deeper the cultivation, the deeper the understanding of the primal chaos laws. Techniques like Duan and Dong Hua were even directly aimed at the godly king level. And the eternal true god level mechanical stream secret treasures, Shia Wu Wings and Lifeblood River, both contain primal chaos realm moves. Delicate contemplation of them could equally enhance understanding of the primal chaos laws. Multipath concurrency, and still only those with extremely high talent hope to become a primal chaos overlord. Luo Fong undoubtedly could comprehend the Lai Yuan technique and cultivate an unimaginable perfect divine body, his talent so high that even godly kings sitting on the mountain marveled at him. This harvest is bigger than I anticipated. Luo Fong counted these treasures, over 980,000 cosmic sand and the mechanical stream secret treasure Lifeblood River, valued around 1.5 million cosmic sand, were the biggest gains of this mission. As for the eternal true god level armors, weapon secret treasures, precious medicines, exotic beast materials, and other various collections altogether, were close to 200,000 cosmic sand. This blood python leader was quite wealthy. Luo Fong was very satisfied, aware that the size of this loot also involved some luck. After all, the vast majority of powerful beings would use up their cosmic sand. Cosmic sand left as is was merely wealth. Spent, it could enhance one's own foundation. After drinking that fine wine from the vice president of the Flame Wind Guild, my understanding seems to have improved. After storing away the treasures, Luo Fong sat cross-legged in the space inside the Star Tower and began trying to comprehend the primal chaos laws. With just a focused perception, he could sense the substantial primal chaos laws that were fully manifested alongside the primal chaos ruins. As vast as a sea of smoke, Luo Fong carefully observed. All things originated from chaos. The difficulty of fully comprehending the primal chaos laws was imaginable. At this moment, not too far from Luo Feng's cave dwelling, Primal Chaos Armor No. 3 cave dwelling, was a super large cave dwelling of the Moli family. The blood python leader is dead, he is really dead. Diarong Qi, also a customer of the Flame Wind Association's Dark Hall, naturally received the news first. The bounty task was completed, and her 40,000 cosmic sand reward was completely deducted. If the task hadn't been completed, the task issuer could rescind the task, deducting a tenth of the cost and returning the rest of the reward. Ah, he's dead, he's dead. Tears were in Diarong Qi's eyes, looking like she was both crying and laughing. After her father and clan members had died, she only had thoughts of revenge. The enemy's quick death, however, left her somewhat bewildered. Little Qi, before the guards and you went to the Fire Realm restaurant, visiting that Luo-he. Could the death of the blood python leader have anything to do with Luo-he? Moli Feiyun made a guess. It was Luo-he who killed him. A voice sounded. Moli Feiyun and Diarong Qi turned to look, and the one who came was Moli Meng. Father. Moli Feiyun exclaimed in surprise, was it really that Luo-he who killed the blood python leader? Yes. Moli Meng nodded, having received a message from the dying blood python leader. He looked at Diarong Qi with mixed emotions. I didn't expect that your visit to Luo-he would actually get him to take action for you. Diarong Qi asked, is Supreme Lord Luo-he alright? She was immensely grateful to Luo Fong now, willing even to become his servant. Of course he is. Moli Meng sighed, in the whole city of Huyang who now dares to offend him? How did you get him to help? Moli Meng asked. Diarong Qi shook her head, I just explained the situation and Supreme Lord Luo-he agreed to help. He asked for nothing from me, just told me to return, and that I would receive news before nightfall. Moli Meng upon hearing this mused, quite generous and decisive. From these actions, Moli Meng could glimpse some of Luo Feng's temperament. Should I visit him to thank him? Diarong Qi was somewhat hesitant, but by doing so, the outside world might guess that it was Supreme Lord Luo-he who acted. Don't rush. Moli Meng shook his head. Currently the various powers within Huyang are paying attention to him, and many wish to visit him. We can wait a bit, in a few days I'll take you to visit him quietly. Moli Meng, also an eternal true god with a small cosmic domain, could block surrounding prying and thus could visit quietly. Alright, Diarong Qi responded. Moli Meng was indeed not wrong, and there were quite a few powers within Huyang City that wished to visit Luo Fong. Although the news that it was Luo-he who killed the blood python leader was still relatively secretive. First, the city owner's mansion had observed the past scene and already discovered it was Luo Fong. Second, the dying blood python leader had messaged 5 different powers. With so many powerful beings aware, with time, the news would naturally slowly spread among the upper echelons of Huyang City. Lord Luo-he, Zhan Yun has come to visit. Chairman Zhan Yun stood outside Luo Feng's cave dwelling, quite humbly. Zhan Yun waited for a while, but the entire cave dwelling's door remained closed with no response. Finally he reluctantly turned and left. At that moment, Luo Feng's cave dwelling. Is this the third distinguished guest today? Moyu Qingyan couldn't help but say, are we just going to refuse everyone at the door? Morosa casually said, as long as the master is in seclusion, it doesn't matter who it is, no need to mind them. The previous 3 guests were all eternal true gods. Moyu Qingyan still felt immense pressure, as the high and mighty eternal true gods had each faced rejection. Morosa chuckled, just wait and see, there will be many eternal true gods visiting today. Give it time and you'll get used to it. I understand. Moyu Qingyan was also mentally adjusting. Being a minor true god, he needed to get used to his master's way of handling things. Focus on comprehending the 10 fundamental laws, your understanding is too slow. Morosa shook his head. As a sector beast who mastered the destruction of the origin, grasping the 10 fundamental laws was as easy as eating and drinking. He just needed to grow with time, and his understanding of the path of destruction would deepen until the day he fully comprehended it. In his eyes, Moyu Qingyan's perceptiveness was truly mediocre. Oh. Moyu Qingyan obediently responded. Lord Luo-he Zhuyu from the Zhu clan in Huyang City is here to visit, came a voice from outside, belonging to another eternal true god from the famous Zhu clan of Huyang City. Moyu Qingyan ignored it and focused on comprehending the laws. Hometown, Primordial Cosmos region, inside Luo Feng's mini-universe. On a bustling human planet, Luo Fong and Su Xin, dressed in short sleeves and wearing straw hats they had made themselves, were leisurely sitting in the outdoor area of a restaurant, drinking beverages and chatting. Luo Fong, you say your son has been striving hard without any improvement in strength. Why does he still push himself so hard? Su Xin shook her head. At the last family gathering, Luo-he was the only one not there. Luo Fong smiled, his gaze piercing through space and time, seeing Luo Ping signing contracts and Luo-he cultivating alone in the depths of a massive black hole. His 2 sons had taken completely different paths. Luo Ping had lost all interest in cultivation, while Luo-he was passionate about it. Luo-he has fighting spirit and that's a good thing, Luo Fong said with a smile. After all, with an infinite lifespan, one must have some pursuits. He's just a universe venerable with universe master and true god ahead of him. Even if he breaks through, what then? Su Xin said, seeing him work so hard, I sometimes feel sorry for him. Don't you feel sorry for me? Luo Fong countered. Su Xin glanced at him. Initially she was always worried about Luo Fong, especially during life and death crises, more panicked than anyone. But as time passed she had come to calmly face everything. Of course I feel sorry for you, Su Xin said with a smile. Only then did Luo Fong pick up his drink and blissfully sip it. He was indeed cautious in the land of origin, but his divine power incarnation, at home always had a relaxed time, often wandering the world with his wife and enjoying it immensely. After all, inside a mini-universe 100 billion light-years in diameter, countless humans thrived and gave birth to a dazzling culture. Luo Fong and Su Xin strolled from place to place, having only explored the tip of the iceberg so far. Ancestor. In the distant stars, a universe master respectfully said, when passing by mountain-sitting guest's mini-universe, I noticed that his mini-universe is expanding rapidly. Inside Luo Feng's mini-universe, whenever ancestor was mentioned, Luo Fong would naturally pay attention. Mountain-sitting guest's mini-universe, expanding rapidly? Luo Fong was surprised. What's wrong? Su Xin sensed something was amiss. The teacher's mini-universe is expanding, let's go have a look. Whisking his wife Su Xin aboard a spacecraft-like secret treasure, Luo Fong traversed space directly to where their master mountain-sitting guest's mini-universe was. Being an eternal true god with a perfect divine body, even just a wisp of divine power condensed into a divine power incarnation, Luo Fong was still unrivaled by true gods. Oh. The spacecraft-like secret treasure stopped in the primal chaos current, where other true gods and universe masters had also arrived, all watching the expanding mini-universe. Ancestor. Ancestor. Lord of the Galaxy. Upon the appearance of Luo Fong and Su Xin, surrounding true gods and universe masters showed utmost respect. The strong beings of the human race naturally revered him as ancestor. Currently, the human race has 2 ancestors, one is the primordial ancestor and the other is Luo Fong, the galaxy ancestor. Their mini-universes, one several billion light-years and the other 100 billion light-years in diameter, were the habitats for the reproduction and survival of the human race. Luo Fong had resolved the sector beast crisis and saved the primordial ancestor, and since Luo Feng's mini-universe was much larger, his status within the human race was indeed higher than that of the primordial ancestor. The primordial ancestor had no objections to this, especially since his 9 netherworlds was also taught by Luo Fong. Luo Fong responded, then looked distantly at the expanding mini-universe. Once the teacher breaks through to the true god of void space, he must venture into reincarnation, Luo Fong thought. Is the teacher finally going to the land of origin? As time passed, more and more powerful beings arrived here. Incarnations of power of primordial ancestor, primal chaos city lord, Jinyan and others rushed over. The birth of a true god of void space in the primordial cosmos was a significant event, attracting a great many onlookers. Luo Fong. Hong, Thunderlord, the 2 of them also arrived by secret treasure. Big brother, second brother. Luo Fong greeted them with a smile. The 3 of them had started their journey from Earth, so their bond was naturally extraordinary. Once mountain-sitting guest makes a breakthrough, he'll have to face the samsara, right? Hong said. After all, he was also a true god. Luo Fong had already asked them to wait before making a breakthrough and to first discuss it with him and the primordial ancestor. Luo Fong looked into the distance. Right after the breakthrough, one must face the samsara within a year. Brother. Luo Hua with their father Luo Honghua, mother Gong Xan Lan, and under the protection of Shima, also arrived here. Mountain-sitting guest is your teacher. His upcoming challenge in the samsara is a given for us to witness, Luo Honghua said. The fact that mountain-sitting guest was Luo Feng's teacher was widely known in the primordial cosmos. Luo Fong nodded slightly and continued to watch the expanding miniature universe. The expansion of the miniature universe continued for over a month, reaching a diameter of 7.2 billion light-years before stopping. Huff. An elderly figure flew out from the miniature universe. It was mountain-sitting guest. Luo Fong approached alone. Teacher. Luo Fong flew closer. I've been in the primordial cosmos for so long, it's time to return, mountain-sitting guest sighed. Though he had lived here for more than one reincarnation era, this place was ultimately not his homeland. Going to face the samsara now? Luo Fong looked at mountain-sitting guest. Mountain-sitting guest nodded. Right now? How will we meet in the future? Luo Fong asked. After his teacher arrived at the land of origin, he was to undergo reincarnation. The divine power incarnation that remained in the primordial cosmos would also disperse, making it difficult to meet again. When it's time to meet, we will meet, mountain-sitting guest smiled at his disciple. My greatest accomplishment since arriving in the primordial cosmos more than a reincarnation era ago was taking you as my disciple. A mediocre disciple primarily relies on his teacher's support. But a truly dazzling disciple, the teacher merely provides assistance. Mountain-sitting guest looked at Luo Fong. How far you can go ultimately depends on yourself. Luo Fong nodded. Remember, don't rush, mountain-sitting guest reminded. When you are strong enough, aiding me in my revenge is just the natural order of things. When you are not powerful enough, rashly intervening will only lead to your demise. I understand, I have patience, Luo Fong nodded. Mountain-sitting guest nodded. I'm off to face the samsara, no need to see me off. After speaking, mountain-sitting guest gave a slight nod to the many powerful beings in the distance and then flew toward the samsara channel, in the tilted peak sector. Luo Fong watched the scene from afar. Everything went as planned. After mountain-sitting guest faced the samsara and arrived at the land of origin, he quickly used the reincarnation secret technique and was born as a native creature of the land of origin. Luo Fong. Primal Chaos City Lord hurried over. Teacher. Luo Fong greeted him. From starting his growth from Earth, Jinyan, Primal Chaos City Lord, mountain-sitting guest, these three teachers had all provided him with great help, and he always respected these teachers. The miniature universe of mountain-sitting guest has begun to collapse. Primal Chaos City Lord said anxiously. Luo Fong nodded. He's your teacher, aren't you worried? Primal Chaos City Lord asked in confusion. You and many human true gods have said that as long as one breaks through to the true god realm before facing the samsara, success is guaranteed. How could mountain-sitting guest have died? Primal Chaos City Lord didn't have much of a personal connection with mountain-sitting guest, but he had devoted his life to the human race, so he naturally worried about the future safety of so many human true gods. Teacher mountain-sitting guest successfully faced the samsara, Luo Fong said. He died after he had completed it. Primal Chaos City Lord was somewhat puzzled. He died after he completed it? Supreme laws limit what I can say, Luo Fong said. I understand, Primal Chaos City Lord nodded, aware of this limitation too. Both the primordial ancestor and Luo Fong had faced the samsara. One was the teacher of Primal Chaos City Lord, the other his disciple. He was very clear about the restrictions of the supreme laws. As long as one breaks through to the true god realm, it is good to be safe in the samsara, Primal Chaos City Lord nodded. As for mountain-sitting guest. In the future you will know, teacher, Luo Fong said. Land of origin, Yu Kingdom, Huyang City. Boom boom boom. The doors of the underground grand hall in the cave mansion opened, and Luo Fong exited his retreat. Master. Morosa swiftly came to greet him, while Moyu Qingyan also quickly arrived from afar. Luo Fong nodded to them. With a step, he reached a distant mountain, sat on a large rock and drank alone. This scene left Morosa and Moyu Qingyan looking at each other, somewhat perplexed. Get on with your business, Morosa instructed Moyu Qingyan, then quietly flew closer to Luo Fong, smiling obsequiously at him. What's up, master? You seem a bit down, Morosa inquired. Not down, Luo Fong said softly, shaking his head. His teacher had reincarnated to prepare for vengeance, and the biggest hope for his teacher's revenge was clearly on him, his disciple. Since the Shire Kingdom had managed to invade far and wide and survive to this day, it was definitely powerful. To confront the rulers of the Shire Kingdom, it wasn't going to be easy, and Luo Fong naturally felt some pressure. Not down? Morosa observed Luo Fong closely. I am contemplating several formidable enemies, Luo Fong said. Your enemies, master? And more than one. Morosa asked, who are they? Do you need my help? Luo Fong eased up a bit at the sight of Morosa. He needed to hone his will, diligently practice secret techniques and comprehend the laws, steadily increasing his strength step by step. But Morosa only needed to eat, drink, and absorb some energy to naturally reach a level far above the Shire Kingdom in the future. If I need your help, I'll tell you, Luo Fong said. I believe I should be able to deal with them. When the time comes, leave the corpse to me, Morosa quickly reminded. Luo Fong smiled, don't worry. By the way, Mo Li Meng has passed a message through Moyu Qingyan wishing to visit you, Morosa said. He passed the message through Qingyan? Luo Fong was surprised. It said that Moyu Qingyan's father, Moyu Hu, has been recruited by the city owner's mansion, and is now an official there, Morosa said with a smile. Luo Fong had quite a good impression of Moyu Hu, the first creature he had become acquainted with upon arriving in the land of origin. Moyu Hu would spare no effort for the sake of his 3 children. Just because of this, Luo Fong admired him greatly. Let Mo Li Meng come, Luo Fong said. Yes, I will make the arrangements immediately, Morosa left quickly. Since the Mo Li clan's cave mansion was also in the Primal Chaos residential area, it took only a moment for Mo Li Meng to arrive with Diarong-chi for the visit. Lord Luo-he, Mo Li Meng greeted with great enthusiasm. Supreme, Diarong-chi with tears in her eyes, immediately knelt down. Thank you Supreme for taking action to avenge my father and the many lost lives of the Diarong family. Please take a seat, Luo Fong said already seated. Mo Li Meng took a seat opposite Luo Fong while Diarong-chi sat to the side. I am Mo Li Meng, fortunate enough to serve as Deputy City Lord of Huyang City, Mo Li Meng said with a smile. Hearing about Brother Luo-he's slaying of the Blood Python Association leader, I am filled with admiration and have come to visit. The many important affairs of the city owner's mansion are decided jointly by the 5 great families, and Mo Li Meng represents the Mo Li clan, also serving as the Deputy City Lord. It's a trivial matter, Luo Fong remarked. It may be trivial to Brother Luo-he, but to our city owner's mansion, it is certainly not. Throughout the land of origin, dark forces are innumerable and indestructible, Mo Li Meng said shaking his head. Our city owner's mansion can only try to restrain them, unable to eradicate them completely. If we do not give them a little sustenance, dark forces would completely turn hostile, rampantly killing and plundering. Maintaining order is not easy, Luo Fong nodded. With a wealth of intelligence information from the veins of God King Jin and Duan Dong River, he was aware of how insanely berserk some terrifying beings could be, causing mayhem and plunder, against which the weaker true gods were utterly powerless. The city owner's mansion attempted to maintain balance by enforcing constraints while providing some sustenance. This had become a desirable place to live for the weaker true gods. The residential areas of true gods are absolutely safe. During the bustling day and at some thriving places at night, we absolutely forbid dark forces from making a move, Mo Li Meng continued. But if someone wanders into secluded and shadowy places and gets killed by dark forces, there's nothing we can do. This is also to give dark forces a slight reprieve. Otherwise if they're driven too hard they would defect to Sure Kingdom's forces, Mo Li Meng said, shaking his head. Sure Kingdom's forces are truly the biggest scourge for the Huyang city. Luo Fong listened. Little Chi, you may leave first. Mo Li Meng looked over at Diarong-chi who respectfully bowed to Luo Fong with gratitude before withdrawing. Brother Luo-he, Mo Li Meng spoke in a low voice, I want to ask if the city owner's mansion offers a bounty, would you be willing to take action to kill the leader of Sure Kingdom's forces, Shui Yun? I've heard that the leader of Sure Kingdom's forces, Shui Yun, has had several confrontations with the city owner's mansion. Even the full mobilization of Huyang City's Great Formation and the personal involvement of Commander Mo Li Shao haven't been enough to deal with Shui Yun, Luo Fong said. Acting in Huyang City, the city owner's mansion has the advantage of home ground. Yet Shui Yun remains at large. He is very strong, Mo Li Meng admitted. So, you're looking to hire me. Naturally the price has to be higher, Luo Fong said. Mo Li Meng was surprised. He really dared to accept? How much? Asked Mo Li Meng. Besides the bounty offered publicly by the Flame Wind Pavilion, I'd add an extra 5 million cosmic sand, Luo Fong said. I can give it a try but I do not guarantee success. If I fail I won't ask for the bounty. Mo Li Meng shook his head. That's too high. If the city owner's mansion was really willing to offer that much, we would have already publicly put up a reward of 6 million cosmic sand at the Flame Wind Pavilion. That way some terrifying powerhouses from other places would probably come rushing over. How much can you offer? Luo Fong inquired. The current bounty from the Blood Cloud at the Flame Wind Pavilion is 1 million cosmic sand. We can add another million cosmic sand, Mo Li Meng said, looking at Luo Fong. Luo Fong shook his head. Too little. If Brother Luo-he is interested I could think of a way but adding 5 million cosmic sand is impossible, Mo Li Meng said. You folks better find Shui Yun first, Luo Fong said no more. Before killing the Blood Python leader, Luo Fong had thought about dealing with Shui Yun. But the biggest problem, they couldn't find him. Mo Li Meng nodded, he's hiding very carefully. Once we find him we'll contact you. We'll talk about it then, Luo Fong agreed. Oh, by the way, Brother Luo-he, the Blood Python leader must have sent messages to several forces before his death, Mo Li Meng said. I've received one. Oh? What message did he send before he died? Luo Fong asked. Brother Luo-he, give me one communication imprint and I will send you the message in full, Mo Li Meng said. Luo Fong also took out a transmission token, and both parties left a communication imprint, enabling them to contact each other. An ordinary transmission token? Mo Li Meng recognized it. Such ordinary transmission tokens have a range slightly larger than that of Huyang City and can even be blocked by small cosmic domains. However, the more powerful beings are, the more willing they are to use these ordinary transmission tokens. This is the message he sent me. Mo Li Meng immediately sent Luo Fong a copy. Luo Fong laughed upon seeing it. His mechanical stream secret treasure is worth 1.5 million cosmic sand, and mine is worth 5 million cosmic sand? I wasn't aware that my mechanical stream secret treasure was so expensive. Mo Meng was secretly alarmed. This Luo-he was so confident that he didn't even hide his possession of the mechanical stream secret treasure right in front of him. Clearly, Luo-he had confidence in himself. Brother Luo-he, you must not be careless, Mo Meng warned. Such a vast fortune could attract some terrifying powerhouses from other places to come to Huyang City to deal with you. Would they believe it? Luo Fong asked. There may be some who do. Anyone who dares to make a move will have some sort of reliance, Mo Meng said. Luo Fong nodded. Brother Mo, thanks. Deep inside, Luo Fong was quite looking forward to having some powerful beings show up. He could become even wealthier. Yu Kingdom within the Yun Mao primal chaos state. In the depths of an ancient mountain range, a tribe lived and thrived. The gathering place, however, was silent at the moment, as tens of thousands of creatures from the tribe lay without sound or movement. Suddenly, an essence flew out from the bodies of these tens of thousands of creatures. Their combined essences formed a figure clad in a grey robe, whose face was obscured by the garment. The minds of the tens of thousands of creatures in this tribe are too weak. My bloodline has devoured their mental consciousness and they didn't even react. The figure in the grey robe shook his head lightly. Devouring billions of such weak true gods would barely benefit me at all. I need some precious resources. If I could absorb the essence blood of primal chaos level exotic beasts, the help would be far greater, the figure in the grey robe mused. To strive toward becoming a primal chaos overlord through the path of bloodline cultivation, how difficult it is. Bloodline cultivation is easy at the beginning, but as one progresses, the need for resources increases dramatically. In the entire land of origin, the limit for bloodline cultivation is the primal chaos lord realm. To break through to primal chaos overlord, naturally there are many barriers to overcome. The figure in the grey robe took out a karmic messenger order with a flip of his hand. He wasn't worried about being locked by karma, for the high and mighty primal chaos overlords hardly noticed him. As for the eternal true gods? In his view, the eternal true gods were his prey. Jiujiang Primal Chaos Prefecture's Huyang City Luo-he? He killed a leader of a dark force within Huyang City, Association Leader Mu Yang of the Blood Python, and possesses at least 2 mechanical flow treasures worth more than 6.5 million cosmic sand. A flicker of interest crossed the figure in the grey robe's mind. When it comes to sneak attacks and assassinations, there are few eternal true gods that can survive my hands. The figure in the grey robe was very confident. He had traversed many primal chaos prefectures and was rich in experience from clashing with the powerful. A trip to Huyang City it is then. Once I arrive, I'll head to the Flame Wind Pavilion to gather detailed information about this Luo-he, and then plan the ambush, the figure in the grey robe said as he moved and completely merged with heaven and earth, vanishing without a trace. He was hurtling through the void at a terrifying speed, heading straight for Huyang City, in the Jiujiang Primal Chaos Prefecture. As for the area where he was originally located, the tens of thousands of creatures that lay motionless, their bodies had completely disintegrated. The reason so many tribal people were eager to live in large cities was exactly because of the unpredictability of the wilderness. They could face disaster at any moment. A terrifying exotic beast passing by could swallow an entire tribe in one bite. An eternal true god passing by could, for the sake of cultivation, wealth, or simply to vent, easily destroy a tribe with a flick of their hand. Only by living within the city walls could they have stable lives. Huyang City. Brother Shang, do you have time? I'm treating you at the Fire Realm restaurant. Luo Fong contacted Shang Tianyan. Brother Luo, he is treating? In the whole Huyang City, countless eternal true gods couldn't even beg for such an opportunity. Of course I have time. I can set off right now. Shang Tianyan replied. Ha, great, see you at the Fire Realm restaurant later. Luo Fong liked Shang Tianyan's forthright nature. After making the arrangements, Luo Fong immediately set off with Morosa and Moyu Qingyan. Inside a flying boat, Morosa spoke from the side. Master, Shang Tianyan is just an ordinary eternal true god. Why are you giving him so much face? In Morosa's view, his master, Luo Fong, who could enslave sector beasts and himself had a perfect divine body, was a genius among geniuses. Ordinary eternal true gods didn't deserve too much of his master's attention. Making friends is not only about the strength, Luo Fong said. Is that so? Morosa didn't quite understand. In his eyes, those ordinary eternal true gods were only fit to be food. Moreover, my interactions with Brother Shang are actually more of me seeking his help, Luo Fong said. I often ask him about artifact refining skills, and he has always given me guidance without reservation. Morosa said, when you ask for his help, master, that is his great fortune. Meanwhile, Moyu Qingyan listened quietly, not daring to interject. Sometimes he wondered. His master was indeed very powerful, yet as a servant, the true god of void space, Lord Luo Sa, spoke quite casually. Master is too kind, that's why he tolerates such disrespect from Lord Luo Sa, Moyu Qingyan thought to himself as he dared not show any disrespect either. Qingyan, Luo Fong called out. Master, Moyu Qingyan replied with utmost respect. I hear from Mo Meng that your father, Moyu Hu, has taken a position in the city owner's mansion? Luo Fong asked. Moyu Qingyan responded, my father also instructed me to thank the master once you emerged from seclusion. I was looking for an opportunity to speak of this as well. Thank me? Moyu Hu is quite polite, Luo Fong nodded. My father has always been focused on the well-being of my 3 brothers and me. I was fortunate to follow the master, Moyu Qingyan said. He also tried his best to send my elder brother to the Zhu clan and my youngest brother to the Heavenly Flame sect. Afterwards, following your killing of the Blood Python leader, my father was recruited to the city owner's mansion, and my elder brother's position rose within the Zhu clan. He was even taken as a disciple by an eternal true god, Zhu Yu, Moyu Qingyan explained. Luo Fong was surprised. The eternal true god Zhu Yu, from the Zhu clan has taken your elder brother as his disciple? Yes, Moyu Qingyan nodded. My father said that both the city owner's mansion and the Zhu clan probably want to make connections with my master. But within Huyang City, there are very few who have a relationship with my master. That's why they bestowed favor upon my father and my brother. Luo Fong chuckled. Indeed, he only had 2 servants, one Morosa, one Moyu Qingyan. Other powers could only start from the Moyu family, which indeed changed the family's fortunes significantly. How about your 3rd brother? Luo Fong asked. My 3rd brother is still in the Heavenly Flame sect, learning the basic skills, Moyu Qingyan said. The artifact refining skills within the Heavenly Flame sect are strict and must be learned step by step from the basics. Luo Fong nodded. Your father is quite the strategist. The Heavenly Flame sect has a good reputation, and their sect leader Shang Tianyan is also a good friend of mine. The Zhu clan is even the #1 local family in Huyang City. He sent one child to the Heavenly Flame sect and the other into the Zhu clan, with much thought and effort. The 5 great families of the city owner's mansion are not native families. They are either branches of godly king families or branches of primal chaos overlord families. The most powerful of the true local families rooted in Huyang City, grown over time, is the Zhu clan. The Zhu clan conducts their business seriously and doesn't get involved with dark forces, yet their power is extremely strong. Within Huyang City, only a few can kill the Blood Python leader. And the chief of the Zhu clan, Zhu Hu, is one of them. In terms of strength, none of the 5 great families dare say they are stronger than the Zhu clan. Of course, in terms of background, the 5 great families have overwhelming support and can call upon terrifying entities at any time. My father has indeed tried every possible way for us 3 brothers. But my father being able to enter the city owner's mansion, and my elder brother being taken in by an eternal true god, it's all thanks to the master, Moyu Qingyan said gratefully. If you want to thank me, then master the 10 fundamental laws as soon as possible, Luo Fong said. Yes. Moyu Qingyan was very clear that he had encountered an incredible opportunity, but only if he could seize it. Mastering the 10 fundamental laws was the first test of becoming a disciple. He invested over 90% of his time every day in contemplating the laws, daring not to slack in the slightest. He even thought of ways to coax Lord Luo Sa, seeking guidance from him. Fire Realm Restaurant. Supreme. Black Butcher was extremely excited and came out to meet him ahead of time. Over time, the news that Luo-he had killed the Blood Python leader had gradually spread from the upper echelons of Huyang City to the middle levels. Black Butcher, who ran a restaurant, came and went and was quite well informed, having heard the news. Moreover, with the Blood Python Association headquarters turned to ruins, those businesses that had to pay tribute fees were already discussing it. Ha ha. Luo Fong looked at Black Butcher's excited demeanor and joked, Black Butcher, has the Blood Python Association exempted your tribute fee? With the Blood Python Association gone, of course there's no such thing as a tribute fee anymore, Black Butcher said gratefully. And the other 2 dark forces contesting the Blood Python's territory have both come to me, saying they will excuse my Fire Realm restaurant from tribute fees in the future. The 2 dark forces contesting the Blood Python Association's territory? Which 2 are they? Luo Fong asked curiously. One is the Thousand Mountain Tower, the other is the Six Lords Alliance. But they've both been very friendly to my Fire Realm restaurant, Black Butcher said gratefully. I know all this is because of you, Supreme. Luo Fong smiled lightly. They do seem to know what's good for them. They are afraid that if they collect tribute fees, you'll go and annihilate them, Shang Tianyan commented as he came out of a distant building. Brother Luo-he, you are slower to treat than I am, huh? I've come as quickly as I can, Luo Fong said with a smile as he approached. Black Butcher, quickly prepare some food and drinks, put some extra effort into it. I'll do my utmost, Black Butcher said full of enthusiasm. Luo Fong and Shang Tianyan then entered the building together. You must feel that many forces in Huyang City are orbiting around you, Shang Tianyan said with a smile. Huyang City may seem crowded with strong individuals, but in the end, it's the strongest existences that decide everything. And now you've also become a member who influences the order. Most importantly, you are unattached with no family. Naturally, many forces want to win you over, willing to pay a high price. Want to win me over? The usual price is not enough to catch my eye. Luo Fong poured wine for Shang Tianyan himself. Come, let's drink. Brother Luo, he pouring wine himself. Not many are privileged enough to taste it, Shang Tianyan said delightedly as he picked up his cup. After a drink, Shang Tianyan looked outside in surprise. At that moment, Moyu Qingyan was naturally standing guard outside the building, while Morosa was sitting on a large rock not far away, sipping from a wine jug and simultaneously ordering some food from the Fire Realm restaurant. Your servant seems quite at ease, Shang Tianyan said. When I was still a true god he followed me. He may be a servant but he's like a brother, Luo Fong said. By the way, I invited you today because I've encountered some difficulties with body refinement. Body refinement is just a branch of artifact refining. Tell me any troubles you have, Shang Tianyan said, brimming with confidence when it came to artifact refining. One asked, the other answered. Luo Fong inquired about some perplexing points in the Primal Chaos Great Strength diagram, regarding the second phase of body refinement, and Shang Tianyan easily clarified these perplexities from different angles, enlightening Luo Fong. The Primal Chaos Great Strength diagram mandates 3 body refinement sessions at the Eternal True God stage. If the third body refinement demands a high understanding of the mysteries of law and skills in artifact refining, then the requirements for the second body refinement are relatively much lower. Luo Fong, who had grasped the essence of the laws, and with the guidance of Shang Tianyan, one of the top artifact refining masters in Huyang City, coupled with his previous accumulations, fully comprehended the key points of the second body refinement during this meal period. I suppose I've got the theory down, next comes the practice, Luo Fong said with a smile. Theory is the foundation, but practice is the true reflection of strength, Shang Tianyan said with a laugh. Brother Luo-he, since you are refining your body, even if you fail occasionally, you can always refine it again. Body refinement is much simpler than refining artifacts. A godly body, even if mostly destroyed, can still recover, so of course the margin for error in body refinement is extremely high. Meanwhile, forging weapons, armors, mechanical stream secret treasures, and the like have a much lower tolerance for mistakes. Haha, if body refinement were as difficult as artifact refining, the path of body refinement wouldn't be so prosperous, laughed Luo Fong. Many cultivate body refinement in conjunction with other practices, but very few also undertake artifact refining. In the end, this world respects strength above all. What's the use of having strong artifact refining skills? Shang Tianyan shook his head. Against someone with greater strength, don't you still have to bow your head? Luo Fong nodded. His master, the mountain-sitting guest, could refine godly king-level weapons and had many friends, but what did that amount to? Faced with the intimidation of the Sure Kingdom, Jin State only had the path to ruin. The mountain-sitting guest didn't pin his hopes on those friends but instead fled to the universe ocean. Eventually, relying on others is never as good as relying on oneself. Inside the pavilion, Shang Tianyan and Luo Fong fell silent for a moment. Shang Tianyan's eyes became distant as if visualizing the figure he longed for day and night. Fire Realm Restaurant. Suazi was diligently preparing dishes. Having been at this small eatery for over a century, he had gradually become adept at some of the ordinary cuisines. Done, Suazi said, waving his hand. A delicious dish was successfully plated and carried away by another attendant. Brother Suazi's culinary skills have become quite remarkable, praised the other chefs of the Fire Realm Restaurant, who were also disciples taken in by the Black Butcher and had been following him for an even longer time. Compared to my senior brothers, my cooking skills are still very ordinary, Suazi said with a smile. Being able to cook was a significant advancement for him. Suazi. Suddenly a shout rang out. Upon hearing this, Suazi excused himself. My brother is here, I'll step out for a moment. The other chefs paid no mind as Suazi was still learning and could only prepare a few relatively simple dishes, hardly a mainstay yet. Stepping outside, Suazi immediately saw Sua Yun waiting for him. Sua Yun, Suazi said, somewhat surprised. You? Sua Yun was full of spirit, his smile brilliant. I've broken through. I finally reached the Void True God realm. That's great, said an excited Suazi. We've been in Huyang City for over a century and you, Sua Yun, have finally reached the Void True God realm. The two brothers had come to the city looking for opportunities. One became a guard for the Diarong family, and the other was recruited by the Fire Realm Restaurant. I seized the opportunity and received a few resources given to me by the young miss of the Diarong family. My bloodline refinement was successful and I've broken through, Sua Yun said, looking at his brother. Suazi, we were the ones with the highest talents in our tribe, and with ordinary cultivation secret techniques, we both reached the 9th realm of true god at a young age. With powerful secret techniques and some resources in Huyang City, I've become a true god of void space and you can do the same. Suazi's blood boiled at hearing this. The two indeed had talents that were not much different from each other, and their clan leader thought these two young juniors could make a name for themselves in Huyang City. I've almost exhausted my resources and can't help you for now, Sua Yun said. But now that I'm a true god of void space, it'll be easy to join a power and become a part of the middle ranks. When that happens, I'll bring you in. With the two of us brothers working together, I believe you'll quickly become a true god of void space as well. I'm doing quite well in the Fire Realm Restaurant, and my master is very good to me, Suazi hastily replied. Burying yourself as a cook, when will you be able to gather primal chaos crystals? Sua Yun turned and left. Wait patiently. Once I'm settled in the new power, I'll pull you over. Sua Yun, who had feared being killed or robbed, had been hiding in his dwelling to cultivate in secret, finally breaking through with the help of the resources. Now at his most spirited, he thought his brother Suazi's decision to be a cook was very foolish. Sigh, Suazi watched as his brother walked away. Suazi, the Black Butcher approached. Master, Suazi greeted respectfully. Due to his consistently good performance and his relationship with Luo Fong, he had been formally accepted as a disciple by the Black Butcher. Your senior brother is right. Accumulating resources as a chef is very slow, the Black Butcher remarked. Even after such a long time, I have only accumulated limited resources. Perhaps following your brother will lead you to a brighter future. Suazi shook his head. Back in the tribe when hunting together, Suo Yun always liked to take risks. He's the same inside Huyang, he might succeed 10 times, but if he fails just once, that's it. Previously, everyone in the Diarong family's cave mansion including the guards were all killed. He only survived because he was with Supreme Lord Luo-he at the Fire Realm restaurant. I advised him but he wouldn't listen. Master, I'd rather stay and learn here at the Fire Realm restaurant. If you wish to stay at the Fire Realm restaurant of course I wouldn't let you down, the Black Butcher said with a smile, nodding his approval. He could cultivate this disciple with confidence since he wanted to take root in the Fire Realm restaurant. I feel the culinary path suits me better, said Suozi. Cooking also involves wielding divine power and spiritual will. It is a form of cultivation too. The Black Butcher nodded in satisfaction and then departed. With the pavilion master gone, the other attendants quickly gathered around. Suozi, your brother has become a true god of void space? So impressive, entering Huyang City and becoming a true god of void space in just over a century. I've struggled for thousands of years and am still just at the eightfold realm of true god. Brother Suozi was already at the ninefold realm in the tribe, his talent is far superior to ours. The attendants said this with envy. Their abilities were far inferior to Suozi's, and most had not been formally taken in by the Black Butcher as disciples. Suozi smiled, though his feelings were complicated. In front of his master, he had been decisive, speaking his heartfelt truth. But how could he not feel some sting of challenge when his brother, who had grown up alongside him, Suo Yun, had become a true god of void space? Could it really be as Suo Yun said, that I must take risks to seize opportunities? Suozi pondered, but the clan leader said that when hunting, it's better to give up 10 chances than to gamble with your life recklessly. The path of culinary skills may be slower, but it's surer. Given a few hundred epochs, I will definitely gather enough resources, Suozi thought to himself. Inside the small building, Luo Fong also witnessed the encounter between Suozi and Suo Yun. The brothers had entered Huyang City with Luo Fong, creating a certain bond. The basic true gods within Huyang City all struggle greatly, Shang Tianyan observed, gazing outside. Most of them take desperate chances to seize opportunities, even at the cost of their lives, only to fail in their breakthroughs more often than not. Suo Yun has considerable talent to have achieved a breakthrough in one go. Luo Fong nodded. Both brothers are quite talented. The art of the Black Butcher's culinary skills is brilliant, on par with artifact refining and alchemy, requiring a perfect combination of divine power and spiritual will to create flavors that touch the spirit. Suozi's aptitude is also evident from how quickly he mastered it. Shang Tianyan, holding his wineglass leisurely, said, they both have talent, but among the massive quantity of true gods in Huyang City, even more lack such talent. Which one do you admire? Luo Fong asked with a smile. If I were younger I would have admired Suo Yun more. But now? Shang Tianyan drank the wine in his glass. I admire Suozi more. Luo Fong nodded, his gaze sweeping across some envious attendants in the Fire Realm restaurant. The road to cultivation forbids greed. Compared to the ordinary attendants of the Fire Realm restaurant, Suozi is already very fortunate. Luo Fong stood up. Yes, forbids greed. Shang Tianyan nodded. It's easy to say, but how many mighty ones can achieve it? I have made greedy mistakes before. Some wrongs can be corrected. Some, once done, cannot be undone. Luo Fong nodded and said, Brother Shang, I will be going into closed-door cultivation once I get back. If you have any urgent matters, you can also send a message to Luo Sa. During closed-door cultivation one needs to be completely invested, and the transmission token would naturally be shut off. Otherwise, messages from the Flame Wind Association's Dark Hall and some acquaintances would disrupt Luo Feng's concentration. As long as the message was given to Luo Sa, he could contact Luo Feng through spiritual transmission. All right, Shang Tianyan nodded with a smile. If there's an emergency, I will definitely make contact. The two of them walked out together, and the pavilion master of the Fire Realm, Black Butcher, came out personally to send the two eternal true gods off. Luo Fong, accompanied by Morosa and Moyu Qingyan, left the Fire Realm restaurant and first went to the Flame Wind Pavilion to buy a large amount of materials needed for the second body refinement. For the first body refinement, I used about 100,000 cosmic sand worth of materials. According to my understanding of the second refinement, I estimate I'll need 650,000 cosmic sand worth of materials. Luo Fong thought, accounting for some losses I should prepare a bit more and buy 700,000 cosmic sand worth. The Flame Wind Pavilion, renowned throughout the land of origin, gathered the materials needed for 700,000 cosmic sand in just the time it took to drink a few cups of tea and chat. Since some materials are not commonly used, we had to source them from our cooperating guilds this time, the vice president of the Flame Wind Guild said. If Brother Luo-he intends to buy more in the future, it's best to place an order through the Dark Hall in advance. We can prepare ahead of time. They were only a branch in a large city after all, with limited storage. Alright, Luo Fong picked up the jade vial, which contained the massive amount of materials worth 700,000 cosmic sand, many of which were piled up like mountains. The Primal Chaos Great Strength diagram did not consume many resources, but Luo Feng's godly body was too vast. Next will be the third body refinement, and the materials needed will multiply many times over. I'll have to book in advance, Luo Feng thought. However, I currently cannot afford that much material. I'm still too poor. After buying the materials, Luo Feng quickly left with his two servants. They flew back to the cave mansion, where Luo Fong stowed the flying boat and Morosa and Moyu Qingyan naturally landed beside him. Qingyan, Luo Fong instructed, I am planning to enter a long period of closed-door cultivation, so you don't need to always wait in the cave mansion. You can go home and visit anytime. Thank you, Master, Moyu Qingyan said gratefully. Since he had begun following Luo Fong, he hadn't gone back even once. What about me? Can I go out? Morosa immediately asked. Last time the master was in closed-door cultivation, it lasted for more than an epoch. As long as you don't cause trouble, you're free to wander around Huyang City, Luo Fong said, then flew directly to the underground hall. As he entered, the doors of the underground hall thunderously closed, and the formation began to operate, isolating the inside from the outside. Luo Fong had begun his closed-door cultivation. Lord Luo saw, then I will go back first, Moyu Qingyan respectfully said. Go ahead, go ahead. I'm going to have a look around, Morosa said jubilantly, already flying out of the cave mansion ahead of him. The master only goes to those few boring places. There are many fun spots in Huyang City. The two servants left one after the other. The entire cave mansion was peaceful, with only Luo Fong in the midst of cultivation. More than 500 days after Luo Fong secluded himself, a figure in a gray robe entered Huyang City through the southern city gate. Finally, I've arrived at Huyang City. The gray-robed figure flew leisurely, habitually enveloping himself in his small cosmic domain, making him undetectable by the city owner's mansion's constant surveillance and other nearby cultivators. Accustomed to taking on assassination missions, he was used to concealing his presence. This is the border of Yu Kingdom. As a border city, Huyang is much more prosperous than the average large city. The gray-robed figure, having seen and known much, noticed that in terms of size, number of cultivators and liveliness, Huyang City ranked high among the large cities he had visited. Suddenly, boom! A colossal flying treasure streaked across the sky at high speed, churning the air and disturbing the surroundings. Quick, get out of the way. Stay far away. Some of the ordinary true gods piloting flying treasures hurriedly evaded, and even some true gods of void space had no choice but to dodge to the side. In Huyang City, those who dare to charge around so recklessly are usually descendants of powerful families with some background. According to the rules of Huyang City, only murder is considered a serious crime. A mere collision caused by a flying treasure will hardly be severely punished. At most, they'll find some primal chaos crystals. The many cultivators were helpless. Within the colossal flying treasure were a number of guards, 6 merry descendants from prominent families drinking, and musicians playing music. How's my musician? Not inferior to those at the Dreamflower Pavilion, right? One of the descendants laughed heartily. At that moment, unseen, the source of law was subtly manipulated, altering the laws within the range of the flying treasure. All beings, those prominent descendants, the serving servants, the musicians, the surrounding guards, silently crumbled into dust and scattered into the world. The colossal flying treasure, no longer steered by divine power, drew an arc across the sky and crashed onto the formation of a distant cave mansion. It was blocked by the formation and fell to the street outside the mansion, causing a stir among the many cultivators. That almost hit me. The gray-robed figure flew past, glancing at the distant colossal flying treasure, defying one's superiors deserves death. For him, snuffing out a group of weaklings was but a mere thought. The gray-robed figure continued to fly leisurely, indifferent to the incident. Such occurrences were common in his lengthy life. He was used to snuffing out any who slightly provoked him during his assassination missions in different cities. Since he always concealed his form and there wasn't any past interaction, it was impossible for officials to identify the murderer. Huff. By the sight of the crashed colossal flying treasure, patrols of Huyang guards rushed over. To think these descendants of great families were killed in broad daylight? The arriving Huyang guards were both shocked and angry as they carefully inspected the flying treasure. Rumble, a giant scale-covered exotic beast with 3 swords on its back broke through the sky. Commander. The surrounding Huyang guards saluted respectfully. The giant black-scaled, sword-bearing exotic beast bore a figure on its head, none other than Gao Shui, the favored youngest disciple of Commander Mo Li Xiao. Now, Gao Shui had a significantly stronger aura and was already an eternal true god. I received the message that, including descendants of the Tsuming royal family, a total of 6 major family descendants perished instantaneously, and all the accompanying servants and guards also died. Gao Shui looked down. Have you found anything at the scene? Reporting to the commander, there's no trace, nor any energy fluctuations from an attack, reported a captain of the Huyang guards. To achieve this without a sound, the perpetrator must be an eternal true god. Gao Shui stood on top of the 3-sword-bearing exotic beast, gazing at the crashed flying treasure, while his small cosmic domain naturally enveloped the area for a thorough inspection. Killing without a trace, yet the treasures belonging to the victims remain inside the flying boat. Clearly the murderer looks down on these trinkets, Gao Shui frowned. The one who acted must be an eternal true god. With a profound accumulation of experience, he had recently made a breakthrough to become an eternal true god. Because of his master, Commander Mo Li Xiao's favor, he immediately became one of the top 10 commanders of the Huyang guards. Currently he was piloting one of the Huyang guards' top 10 mechanical treasures, the 3-sword sky-splitting beast. Compared to Huyang's 10 great legions, the overall strength of the Huyang guards was significantly weaker, and the power of their legion-class treasures was also much lesser. The three-sword sky-splitting beast only required one eternal true god and 3,000 true gods of void space to operate. The city owner's mansion has reviewed the city-wide surveillance but found no trace of the murderer. Gao Wushui shook his head. If that eternal true god is very cautious, the city owner's mansion won't be able to track them down. Investigate, find a way to check every trace and find out who dared to attack and kill our family's descendants. Investigate, whoever dares to kill a descendant of the Jiang clan must be thoroughly identified. The 6 descendants of prominent families who died were from 2 of the 5 great families, including a descendant of the Tsuming royal family and one from the Jiang clan. Naturally, the city owner's mansion mobilized its best investigators to scour for clues, but in the short term, no discoveries were made. The deaths of these family descendants mattered little, as over the long years, the members of royal families like Tsuming had become uncountable. Those in Huyang City were merely an inconspicuous branch of the Tsuming royal family. It seems the descendants of prominent families I've killed were quite ordinary. The gray-robed figure flew casually within Huyang City. So much time has passed and still no powerful beings have tracked me down. Clearly, the city owner's mansion has not employed divination to find me. The gray-robed figure pondered. He was accustomed to assassinations and had tried every method to conceal the cause and effect, making it challenging to trace him through it. Divination was a more feasible approach, albeit at a high price. He was capricious, striking whenever he wished and had even crushed to death the child of a primal chaos overlord. That incident indeed caused great trouble. Fortunately, that primal chaos overlord had over 300 children, and the death of one did not lead to a particularly strong pursuit force being sent after him. This allowed him to escape the predicament with the life-saving techniques from his legacy. And that was how he ended up fleeing to the Yu Kingdom. In the Yu Kingdom he remained unchanged, killing as he pleased. I wish to purchase all information on Luo-he, the eternal true god. The gray-robed figure flew mid-air, contacting via the Dark Hall's transmission order. All information on Luo-he is worth 100 cosmic sand. Do you confirm the purchase? The Dark Hall replied. Purchase. The figure in the gray robe didn't care about the price, knowing that intelligence also has its levels, with higher levels being more expensive. And all intelligence is even pricier. Fortunately, the Flame Wind Pavilion didn't have much knowledge about Luo Fong, so the pricing of this intelligence was not too high. Ing Tsang, deduct 100 cosmic sand. You still have 829,200 cosmic sand remaining in the Dark Hall, the Dark Hall responded. Does your Huyang City have a bounty for Luo-he? The figure in the gray robe asked, not having found any through the transmission token. There is no bounty, the Dark Hall responded. The figure in the gray robe was quite displeased and turned off the transmission token. The intelligence from the Flame Wind Pavilion is rather detailed. The figure in the gray robe also saw an image showing Luo Fong with 6 pairs of golden wings unfurled behind him, surrounded by the primal chaos current. Based on the image, Luo-he's 6 pairs of wings closely resemble the primal chaos golden wings from the mechanical stream secret treasure. Judging from the battle traces, his clash with the Blood Python Association leader shows he holds an absolute advantage, highly likely having grasped moves from the primal chaos realm. This detailed intelligence also contains some conjectures. The intelligence from the Flame Wind Pavilion had mostly figured it out. However, since the perfect divine body had not appeared in the land of origin before, the Flame Wind Pavilion did not consider this possibility. Thus, naturally there were deviations in their conjecture. Grasped moves from the primal chaos realm? The figure in the gray robe was unconcerned. Among the pinnacle existences of the eternal true gods, with their innate talents and understanding of the primal chaos laws, even without fully comprehending all the primal chaos laws, it's possible to occasionally grasp certain killing moves. No matter how high the comprehension, a godly body struck by a blow must die, the figure in the gray robe pondered. According to the intelligence, he should be in secluded cultivation within his cave mansion right now. The most cautious time is during seclusion. I must wait for the opportunity, for the moment he lets down his guard the most, to launch a surprise attack. Flame Wind Pavilion. Pavilion Master, Ing Tsang has come to Huyang City. He just purchased the information on Luo-he through the Dark Hall. The Deputy Pavilion Master walked up to the burly man. He's come to Huyang City? It seems that the one who murdered the 6 major family descendants today is this Ing Tsang, the burly man said with a smile. It's just a pity that this information can't be sold, the Deputy Pavilion Master also said with a smile. The rules of the Flame Wind Pavilion were harsh. If they learned about the secrets of a customer through other channels, they could naturally sell it as intelligence. However, if it was information about a transaction between the customer and the Flame Wind Pavilion, it was absolutely forbidden to be leaked. For instance, the information of Luo Fong purchasing artifact refiner materials worth 700,000 cosmic sand a while ago, the Flame Wind Pavilion would never divulge it. Transactions must be kept confidential. The operation of the entire Flame Wind Pavilion was monitored by a spirit formation, and even as the Pavilion Master or Deputy Pavilion Master, they dared not break the rules. He purchased the information on Luo-he, probably to deal with Luo-he, the Deputy Pavilion Master suggested. I've always been unable to see through Luo-he, perhaps this Ing Tsang can figure out his details, the burly man stated. Time passed, and before one knew it, Luo Fong had been in seclusion for over 1,200 days, with the second layer of the Primal Chaos Great Strength diagram nearly complete. The first seclusion took more than an epoch, mainly because the growth of the godly body to its pinnacle took a long time. The actual body refinement process wasn't very long. The second time, Luo Fong focused only on body refinement, so naturally it was faster. At this moment, in the underground hall of the 913th cave mansion in Primal Chaos armor, within the Star Tower, Luo Feng's towering, immense godly body of 18 billion kilometers had already taken shape. The vast materials piled in the distance began to levitate, naturally starting to melt, and then merged into the towering godly body. After fusing into the godly body, Luo Fong also dispatched numerous thoughts to record the dense formation diagrams. The first body refinement just barely laid the foundation. It was relatively crude in all aspects. Now, the secret treasure structure is much more refined. Luo Fong could sense the process coming to successful completion, feeling extremely clear. His own godly body was an ultra-large weapon secret treasure. The might of a 18 billion kilometers tall weapon secret treasure was imaginable. The previous body refinement was rough, relying purely on size and the principle of break laws with force to have such power. But now it was much more refined, and the power of the godly body was naturally much more terrifying. Buzz. As the body refinement throughout was completed, Luo Fong felt an innate pleasure, each gesture and each action now possessing several times more power than before. Even flexibility and speed had undergone a qualitative improvement. I've arrived in the land of origin and am still in a period of strength improvement, Luo Fong said with a smile. Those top-tier eternal true gods generally have cultivated every aspect to the limit, with their blood lineage reaching the 10 stages of the eternal realm, and their secret techniques reaching the limits of the eternal level. For them, progress is extremely difficult. Luo Feng's Primal Chaos Great Strength diagram, at the eternal level consists of 3 stages, and he had now only finished the second. For the Worldbreaking 9 Blades at the eternal level with 6 blade techniques, he had only mastered 3. For Godly King level Dharma like Duan and Dong Hua, progress was even slower, and for the Lai Yuan technique, the progress was the slowest, meant to be contemplated and enhanced over epochs of time. I'll go out for a walk to clear my mind. His mood jubilant from the successful second body refinement, Luo Fong quickly gathered the Star Tower and left the underground hall alone. With a single thought, Luo Fong found the cave mansion eerily quiet. Morosa and Moyu Qingyan had not yet returned.